Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Otaku Heaven coming at you with another manga chapter review for Black Clover chapter 47. If I sound weird, it's because I was sick and I'm just not getting over it. But basically, this chapter was very good if you like Yami, and it actually made me like Yami a whole lot more because prior to this, I equated him a lot to the way Shanks and Guild Arts acts, but he is like Guild Arts but 10 times funnier. Basically, the whole time he's trying to get Aster to actually go in and fight this dude, he's telling him about a few new things that we haven't got because most manga and anime, when it's magic based, use either mana or ki, but this one is going to talk about using both mana and ki. He uses Yami shows Asta that he can use Ki to detect the attacks of both Lord Light and Voltos, and basically shows Asta everything that he can do with it and protects him one last time before he tells him to get out there. And Asta's just being a real bitch about it. He doesn't want to get out there. I'm not gonna say he was scared, but he didn't think he could do it. But Yami looks at him like, "You did say that you wanted to be the Sorcery Emperor, right?" Well, there's a saying back in the town that says, "No, once the magic night never repeats itself once he said something." And this is your path to become the Sorcery Emperor. So overcome your obstacles. Basically, telling us to grow stronger. This is what you're gonna have to do if you want to become the Sorcery Emperor. And all while Lord Light is over there on the other side of him, kind of shocked that Yami was able to just casually brush off and deflect his attacks and then also retaliate to those attacks and counter them. So he actually equated Yami to the Sorcery Emperor because he said, is it possible that the Black Bulls have someone as powerful as the Sorcery Emperor as their leader? So that's big praise coming from someone comparing him directly to a Sorcery Emperor. Now we know they're very powerful, but I assume the power gap would be a whole lot bigger. Maybe not between Yami and the Sorcerer Emperor, but maybe the other ones, or maybe not between the Golden Dawn and the Sorcerer Emperor. I actually think that there could very well be a rivalry between the leader of the Golden Dawn and Yami, basically because they remind me a lot of Asta and or Juno, however you want to say it. I've heard it both ways. But anyway, Yami and Juno have a good rivalry, and they show a lot of parallels with not Yami and Juno. Yami and the Golden Dawn leader show a lot of parallels with Asta and Juno. And the reason he may not be as high a candidate of becoming the Source Emperor is because Yami, he doesn't know how to act right. Not to say that the regular Sorcery Emperor now does, but Yami's a bit less careless than him. And eventually he coerces Asta to go in there, and Asta says, "Hell yeah!" He manages to actually deflect one of the attacks. He's like, "I think I'm getting it now," and then Yami goes, "Well, you're scary. What's wrong with you, freak? Stay away from me," which is pretty funny because the whole while he's trying to get Asta to learn this thing, once Asta learns it and learns it as quick as he does, he thinks that Asta is a freak. So basically, he's using this key to fend off all of the attacks of Voltos and the Lord Light. He actually doesn't wait. He doesn't get attacked by Lord Light yet. He gets attacked by Voltos and manages to deflect and retaliate against it, countering it and knocking Voltos on his ass. So he manages to do a good amount of damage to Voltos, and Lord Light is super pissed about this because he's like, "There's no way I'm letting you scrubs hurt even more, my man. You've hurt Voltos yet again." Or not Voltos. You've yet again hurt another one of my men, this time Voltos. And so Lord Light gets really pissed off. And then he pulls out these whip things. Basically, these whips pretty much tear up the whole terrain. He's thrashing them all across the ground, covering them in basically a mound of rubble. And Voltos equates Asta and Yami to birds, saying that he was basically crushed them as birds, even no matter how strong they are, that Lord Light can just do this. He seems really impressed. Then from under the rubble you hear Yami say, if you pay attention to the ki, you can actually sense the ki of nature, and then you can dodge a cheap shot like your enemy trying to cover you in rubble. So it's very interesting to see how Ast is going to grow from this fight, learning to use his ki, which is sort of like sort of like mana, but it's different. Ki has a lot to do with your physical being, and opposed to your your mana. Your mana is a basically a spiritual type thing or an aura of sorts. But this ki is how your energy flows through your body. I'm sure most of you know from martial arts and stuff like that. I'm not saying you've taken martial arts, but you've probably seen a martial arts movie or two in your life. And as to being as powerful he is and as bulky as he is, he's like, "That's why you're so bulky, aren't you?" I mean, he always like, "You're one to talk." I think he called him a big rock or something. But the whole deal was Asta's gained a lot of traction in the manga for his development, and they're basically making Lord Light look just like a bitch. But that's gonna be weird because Lord Light is the main antagonist. So who is going to be the next antagonist? It's got to be bigger than Lord Light, or they're gonna try to wrap up Black Clover in a good 100 chapters or so. I actually thought it would go much longer than 100 chapters, but I don't know how long. I felt as though it would though. But if Lord Light is this week, and or either that or he's not showing his full power. But if Lord Light is this week, it's probably going to wrap up really quickly within 100 chapters. With the last invasion being the invasion on the town again, or the Clover Kingdom, or even them actually raiding Light's hideout this time and handling all that. But then there's a lot of characters we still haven't seen, so it's really hard to say they're trying to wrap it up this early. Maybe Light's just toying with him at this point. God, I hope so, because they're just making short work of him right now. Anyhow, this chapter is really good. I've got to say it was a 9 out of 10. I mean, there were a few things I believe that could have been better as far as pacing, but the comedy was amazing. 10 out of 10 on the comedy. I enjoyed the comedy all the way throughout. And the fights were awesome. You got to see, again, Asked to develop and asked to become stronger in order to compete with and further his goals towards becoming the Sorcerer Emperor and impress Yami all at the same time. And we got a hint into Yami's power and the ability to basically see where he stands up against the Sorcerer Emperor, or a little bit of an ability to see how he stacks up. Not the full ability. We haven't seen any of Yami yet, for real, and we haven't seen any of the Sorcerer Emperor yet. We just seen him carelessly brushing off attacks, and that's where we're left off. We've got Lord Light being extremely weak, Yami being extremely powerful, and the Sorcerer Emperor's power coming into question. But that's all for this, guys. It's got to be a 9 out of 10. That's all. Peace.